This is not a difficult exercise. What makes it tricky is a few things. Number one, it's on G string. And when you play on G string, naturally, you have to stretch a little bit more. It would be easier if this was, say, on A string or E string. So G string is just physics, just a little bit. You have to stretch a little bit more to hit those notes. And fingers have to kind of fall in the right spots. So that's one of the challenges of this exercise. They're basically same notes, like you keep playing the same notes over and over and over again, but the beginning of each group is different. So so on and so forth. So my recommendation to practice this is go slow. Go really slow at first and look for uniform sound. So you're looking for finger agility and really rhythmical execution of those 16th notes. So that really was what you're trying to go for. And of course, keep things as much in tune as you can, really, going through this. Other than that, the first one is really not so hard. I think it can be easily learned by most people who already play violin. This is not for complete beginners. This is for folks who already have some training, intermediate to advanced players. So that's number one. Cool, let's look at number two. This exercise is just a little trickier than the first one. So you have mostly third finger and second finger action, but also you change in strings now. This is the first time he's introducing a new string, D string. So you have to pay attention to that, obviously, but also really make sure that things are still very, very uniform, very much rhythmically uniform, and of course intonation is exactly on point. So to achieve all these things, you have to start slowly. Maybe even play separate bows in the beginning, if you'd like. I don't see why not. But the idea is that you're kind of doing these exercises, daily exercises. So select one or maybe several per day and try to do daily. That's probably the hardest part for most people, because consistency and discipline is, well, it's not everyone's strong suit. So if you can commit and really practice every single day, these exercises will propel your left hand into a fast machine, so to speak. Cool, let's do next. All right, number 3. Another very mechanical exercise, repetitive in some ways, and you're dealing with, for a while, with just 3 fingers. before the first finger is used again. So at first it's second finger, fourth finger, second, third, fourth, and second fingers used. So you're kind of going in between them and kind of playing this drill to keep it very steady and very controlled, very much controlled. At the same time, when you're practicing these exercises, remind yourself to keep fingers as close as you can to the string. So never really lift them high, because that will stop your progress and you will not be able to go very fast if you do that, because physics, right? The higher you have to lift the fingers, the longer it's gonna take to strike the right notes. So just be careful of that and kind of train yourself, get used to keeping fingers really close and really just a minimal amount of movement to play these exercises. All right, cool. Let's do number 4. I'm deliberately playing this exercise a little bit slower so that you can kind of keep up what I'm doing, and I'm not getting a lot of angry complaints from you people, from you guys, that things are too fast and I need to slow down. Remember to use the YouTube's feature to slow down or speed up the video. I think it's very helpful. I use it all the time when I'm watching something. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so here in this exercise, you're dealing with kind of a little bit of a pattern, right? It's a pattern. So you have, right? And again, and to get this pattern into your mind, you have to practice slowly. I hate to say this, but all of these fast exercises, they have to begin slowly. And the faster you want to go, the more time you're gonna have to spend practicing this slowly and really getting to know each exercise as best as you can. So if you really truly take this advice to heart and do it, then your odds of playing this fast are much greater than those who are just gonna fly through this exercise, through this whole page and be like, oh, that's easy. They're not gonna really get any value out of it. But these exercises are awesome because they're sort of, I don't want to say they compete with Shevchik or Shradik or anything like that. No, they are sort of in addition to those exercises. So I would kind of do these, when you get a little tired of Shradik or tired of Shevchik and you're ready for something different. There you go, do this. This is wonderful. And I think they're very well organized. It's 50 exercises. This is not a huge book, overwhelming and intimidating. It's not. Although I will say this, the exercises are getting progressively harder as you go. So the first one obviously going to be the easiest, and the last one, number 50, is going to be the hardest, probably, I think. I haven't actually played all of them yet. But I would imagine that's the case. It's usually the case. Anyway, so yeah, you're kind of progressively learning things. You're going to shifting and some other stuff, string crossing and whatnot. And yeah, it's an adventure. So I hope you guys are enjoying this little video. I will only do 4 exercises today because that's all I have time for today. I'm teaching today and working, and I have a gig, so just busy day today. But I'm gonna try and come back if there's enough interest in this video. I'm gonna try and revisit this and do more exercises if I get enough interest from you guys. So let me know in the comment sections if you would like to see more. Also, I want to invite you to my Patreon page where you can support this channel and support a living musician, myself. And that would be awesome. I would really appreciate that if you could. Thank you very much. The link is down below.